Most people believe strength comes from being seen, being heard, being validated. They think the louder you speak, the more powerful you become. But let me tell you something uncomfortable. The moment you feel the urge to explain yourself, to announce your plans, to reveal your struggles, you have already stepped away from true strength. Real power does not rush to speak. It waits, it observes, it grows in silence. In the Shaolin way, silence is not emptiness. Silence is compression. Just like coal becomes diamond under pressure, your inner strength is formed when energy is held, not wasted. Every time you speak unnecessarily about your goals, your fears, your discipline, you release energy that should have been used for growth. Words feel productive, but often they replace action. You feel accomplished simply because you spoke. But nothing has changed. The body has not trained. The mind has not sharpened. Only the ego has been fed. Camdanced. When you keep certain things to yourself, something powerful happens inside you. Your mind becomes clearer because it is no longer cluttered with opinions, reactions, and expectations from others. You stop performing. You start becoming. Silence removes the need for approval. And the moment you stop needing approval, you begin to move freely. That freedom is strength. Many people do not realize this, but not everyone who listens wants you to succeed. Some people hear your dreams and unknowingly weaken them with doubt. Some consciously do it with jealousy. Some do it by projecting their own limitations onto you. When you speak too much, you open doors that should have remained closed. In Shaolin training, we protect the inner chamber. Not everyone is allowed inside. Your plans, your next step, your deepest intentions must be protected until they are ready to stand on their own. Men's silence also teaches patience, and patience is one of the highest forms of power. When you are silent, you are not reacting, you are choosing, you are no longer controlled by emotion. You begin to see clearly what matters and what does not. The strong do not rush to be understood. They focus on becoming undeniable. When results arrive, explanations are no longer necessary. Bain, understand this. Discipline grows faster when it's private. When nobody is watching, you train differently. You train honestly. There is no performance, only progress. In Shaolin practice, the most important training happens when the hall is empty. That is where character is built. That is where strength becomes part of you, not something you show. If you constantly talk about your discipline, you weaken it. Discipline thrives in quiet repetition, not in applause. Silence also protects your pain. Pain is sacred training. It is not meant to be shared carelessly. When you talk too much about your suffering, you begin to live in it. You carry it as an identity instead of using it as fuel. The warrior feels pain but does not advertise it. He studies it. He allows it to refine him. What you survive quietly becomes your calm in chaos. What you complain about stays heavy. What you endure silently becomes light. True strength is felt, not announced. When you walk into a room and say nothing, yet people feel your presence, that is power. It's where you want. That is power. That presence was built in silence, in early mornings, in lonely discipline, in moments where quitting was easier than continuing. No one saw those moments, and that is why they are powerful. If you want true strength, learn what not to share. Do not share your next move. Do not share your deepest fears. Do not share your full capacity. Keep them protected. Let silence shape you. Let action speak later, because when the time comes, you will not need words. Your calm will speak. Your posture will speak. Your life will speak. And when that happens, people will feel your strength without you saying a single word. And this leads to the next truth you must understand. If you want true strength, not everyone deserves access to you. Many people mistake openness for honesty and availability for kindness. They believe that sharing everything makes them authentic. But strength is not built through exposure. Strength is built through discernment. In the Shaolin way, access is earned, not given freely. Your inner world is sacred territory, and only a few should ever step inside. Plendist. Every time you reveal your plans, your weaknesses, your private struggles, you are handing someone influence over your mind. And influence is power. If the wrong person holds it, even unintentionally, they can weaken your direction. Some people listen to you not to understand, but to measure themselves against you. Some listen to feel superior. Some listen simply because they enjoy knowing more than they should. This is not evil. It is human nature. But a warrior must be aware of human nature, especially when it concerns his own life. True strength requires boundaries. Boundaries are not walls built from fear. They are gates built from wisdom. When you allow everyone access to your thoughts, you invite noise into your mind. Opinions begin to mix with intention. Doubt begins to disguise itself as advice. Soon, you are no longer walking your path, you are negotiating it. The strong do not negotiate with every voice. They choose carefully which voices deserve to be heard. Dan, in Shaolin training, there is an inner chamber. Not every student enters it. Not because others are unworthy, but because not everyone is ready. Your goals are like that inner chamber. Your healing is like that inner chamber. Your next move is like that inner chamber. They require protection until they are strong enough to stand on their own. When you speak too early, you expose something fragile to a world that does not handle fragility gently. Ben, understand this deeply. Privacy is not secrecy born from insecurity. Privacy is strategy born from self-respect. You do not owe everyone your story. You do not need to explain why you are changing. You do not need permission to grow. The moment you stop explaining yourself to people who do not walk your path, your energy returns to you. That energy becomes clarity. That clarity becomes power. Many people confuse being misunderstood with being wrong. But the strong accept misunderstanding as part of mastery. If everyone understands you, you are moving too predictably. Silence allows you to move without interference. It allows you to adjust without being questioned. It allows you to grow without being interrupted. When you stop seeking validation, you stop shrinking your truth to fit other people's comfort. Mind, there is also another danger in giving too much access, emotional dependency. When you constantly share your struggles, you train your mind to seek relief through others instead of strength within yourself. In Shaolin discipline, the mind is trained to sit with discomfort, not escape it through talking. When you learn to process internally, your resilience increases. You become stable. You become grounded. You no longer collapse when no one is there to listen. This does not mean isolation. It means intentional connection. A small circle, a trusted space, a few people who have proven through action, not words, that they respect your growth. Those people listen without planting doubt. They support without controlling. They speak when necessary and stay silent when silence is needed. These relationships strengthen you. Everything else drains you. Stubborn's strength is not how much you share. Strength is knowing when to remain quiet. Strength is understanding that your inner life is not a public place. When you protect access to yourself, you protect your direction. When you protect your direction, you protect your future. Obasny Fripp, 2 True Shrooms Band, King Power's EU Strengths. If you want true strength, choose carefully. Who hears your truth? Let most people see only the surface. Let a few earn the depth. And let silence guard the rest. And once you understand who deserves access to you, the next lesson becomes clear. Discipline speaks louder than words. Many people feel the need to announce their routines, their sacrifices, their struggles, as if discipline only exists when it is witnessed. But true discipline does not seek attention. It does not need to be explained. It is felt through consistency, through calm behavior, through the way a person carries themselves when no one is watching. In the Shaolin way, discipline is private training. It is waking up early when the body is heavy. It is repeating movements when the mind is bored. It is returning to practice even after failure. If you constantly talk about how hard you train, how focused you are, how much you endure, you are feeding the ego, not the discipline. Words create the illusion of progress. Discipline creates real transformation. Balance. When you speak too much about your discipline, you weaken it. The mind receives a false reward. It feels accomplished without effort. This is dangerous. The body remains unchanged, but the ego believes it has grown. Silence removes this illusion. In silence, there is no applause. There is only the work. And that is where strength is forged. Real discipline shows itself in behavior. It shows in posture, in breath, in how you respond to pressure. It shows when things go wrong and you remain composed. It shows when others panic and you remain steady. You do not need to say you are disciplined. People can feel it. Your presence becomes stable. Your words become fewer but heavier. This is the mark of true strength. Many people speak about their goals to feel motivated, but motivation fades. Discipline remains. When you keep your routines private, you build an internal contract with yourself. You stop relying on external validation. You stop needing encouragement. You train because it is who you are, not because someone is watching. This is why monks train alone for years. Solitude reveals the truth. Without an audience, there is no performance, only honesty. Discipline also protects your energy. When you talk too much, you scatter your focus. Opinions enter your mind. Comparisons weaken your direction. But when you train quietly, your path becomes narrow and clear. You are no longer distracted by how others train, how fast they progress, or what they think. You move at your own rhythm. That rhythm becomes powerful because it is uninterrupted. Understand this. Discipline is not dramatic. It is simple, repetitive, and often boring. That is why most people avoid it. They prefer talking about change rather than becoming it. But the strong embrace the boring. They repeat the basics until the basics become mastery. They do not announce their effort, they accumulate it. And accumulation is power. When discipline is strong, words become unnecessary. You no longer need to defend yourself. You no longer need to prove anything. Life becomes your demonstration. Your calm under stress becomes your statement. Your consistency becomes your reputation. Others may speak. You remain silent. And in that silence, your strength grows deeper. Denged. If you want true strength, let discipline replace explanation. Let repetition replace promises. Let action replace intention. Keep your training quiet. Let your life reveal what your mouth never needed to say. And when discipline becomes part of you, you begin to understand another deep truth. Pain is private training. Pain is not an enemy. It is not a punishment. In the Shaolin way, pain is information. It shows you where you are weak, where you are attached, where you still resist growth. But this training is not meant to be shared carelessly. The moment you turn pain into a story for others, you risk losing its lesson. There are many people speak about their pain to feel lighter. They want comfort, sympathy, reassurance. But comfort can delay transformation. When pain is constantly expressed outward, it never fully settles inward where change happens. True strength is built when you allow pain to do its work quietly. You sit with it, you observe it, you learn from it. You do not run from it by talking. Pain becomes dangerous when it turns into identity. When you repeat your suffering, you begin to define yourself by it. You stop seeing pain as a phase and start wearing it as a name. In Shaolin training, we never allow pain to become who we are. It is a visitor. It arrives, it teaches, and it leaves. But only if you do not cling to it for attention or validation. And there is also power in protecting your wounds. Not everyone knows how to handle them. Some people will minimize them. Some will misuse them. Some will store them and bring them back to you later. When you reveal your pain to the wrong ears, you give others a weapon without realizing it. Strength requires awareness. Your healing deserves respect. Your struggle deserves privacy. Endurance is silent by nature. When the body burns, when the mind wants to quit, when doubt becomes loud, that is where real training begins. No one else can walk that path for you. Speaking about it does not make it easier. Staying present does. Pain teaches you how to breathe under pressure, how to stay calm when everything inside you wants to escape. These lessons are lost when pain is turned into conversation. Amazing Shaolin practice, we are taught to bow to pain, not curse it. Pain strips away illusion. It shows you what truly matters. It teaches humility, it teaches patience, it teaches self-control. But only if you allow it to remain focused inward. When you complain, pain spreads. When you observe, pain concentrates. Concentrated pain transforms into strength. There is a quiet confidence that comes from surviving something no one knows about. It changes the way you stand, the way you speak, the way you look at problems. You stop panicking because you have already faced discomfort in silence. You stop seeking rescue because you have learned how to stay grounded alone. This is not emotional coldness. This is emotional mastery. Do not misunderstand this. Silence does not mean suppression. Suppression poisons the mind. Silence is awareness without display. You feel fully, but you do not leak energy outward. You process, you refine, you integrate. When needed, you seek guidance from the right source, not from the crowd. This is wisdom. Bond, if you want true strength, stop advertising your pain. Let it train you. Let it shape you. Let it deepen you. When pain is respected, it becomes clarity. When it is endured quietly, it becomes resilience. And one day you will notice that what once hurt you no longer controls you. Blensed. That is when you realize the training worked. And when pain has finished shaping you, you come to the final understanding. Mastery is invisible until it is needed. True mastery does not announce itself. It does not seek recognition. It does not introduce itself before entering the room. In the Shaolin way, mastery is quiet preparation meeting the right moment. Until that moment arrives, it remains hidden, protected, and untouched by ego. Many people reveal their full ability too early. They show their strength before it is required. They explain their knowledge before it is asked for. In doing so, they expose themselves to unnecessary comparison, resistance, and expectation. When you show everything you have, you leave no space to grow. Mastery understands timing. It waits. It observes. It remains unseen until action becomes necessary. This is why you must never share your full capacity. When people think they know you completely, they stop being surprised by you. Surprise is power. Unpredictability is protection. When your inner strength is hidden, you move freely. You adjust without explanation. You evolve without interruption. The strong do not need to remind others of what they can do. They allow life to reveal it naturally. Unbeknownst in Shaolin training, the highest skill often looks simple. There is no tension, no display, no force. Nor only precision and calm. This calm comes from years of silent repetition, from mistakes no one saw, from corrections no one praised, from patience that did not demand reward. When mastery finally appears, it feels effortless to others, but you know the truth. Effort was simply absorbed into you. Chumra pins. When challenges arise, mastery shows itself without noise. There is no panic, no rush, no explanation. Action happens. And afterward, silence returns. This is the difference between those who perform strength and those who embody it. Performance needs an audience. Embodiment does not. Barriers. If you speak too much about what you know, what you can do, or how far you have come, you dilute the impact of your presence. Silence concentrates it. People feel it before they understand it. They sense stability. They sense clarity. They sense something grounded. That is mastery working quietly. True strength is not about being recognized as powerful. It is about being reliable under pressure. It is about being calm when others are reactive. It is about responding when others freeze. And these qualities cannot be faked. They are built in privacy, protected by restraint, and revealed only when required. Jan. So remember this, do not share your plans too early. Do not reveal your full strength unnecessarily. Do not explain your inner world to those who have not earned it. Let silence be your guard. Let discipline be your language. Let pain be your teacher. And let mastery reveal itself through action, not words. And solve your brainy for and walk your path. Walk your path quietly. Train consistently. Trust the process even when no one sees it. When the moment comes, your strength will speak for you. I wish you clarity in your mind, steadiness in your heart, and strength that needs no announcement.